Hey there, got a question for you. Have you ever been in a conversation that just goes completely off the rails? That feeling where you're trying to make a point, but the other person twists your words and suddenly you're not even talking about the same thing anymore? You leave feeling frustrated, misunderstood, and honestly, a little angry. Well, what if I told you the key here to winning any disagreement is to first argue the other person's side for them, even better than they can? I know it sounds crazy, right? Very counterintuitive to how we want to engage with people in a discussion. But by the end of this video, you're going to have a powerful psychological technique that allows you to resolve conflict, earn respect, and get your point across without making a single enemy. And this is what I call the definitive guide to that technique. You see, my friend, the reason most arguments fail is because, well, we're not actually fighting the person in front of us. We're fighting a caricature of them that we built in our own head. And in psychology and philosophy, this is a logical fallacy called the straw man. You see, our brain does this to protect our ego. When we feel our ideas are being attacked, our fight or flight response, well, it kicks in. It's psychologically easier to attack a simplified, weaker, or more extreme version of someone's argument than it is to engage with their actual nuanced point. And the sad thing is, we do this all the time without even knowing about it. You see, maybe your partner says, we should be more mindful of our budget this month. And your brain translates that into, well, so you're saying we can never spend money on anything ever again. Sound familiar? See, that's a straw man. It's easy to defeat, but you haven't actually addressed their real concern. You've only won a fake fight, and in the process, you've made the other person feel unheard and defensive. So if the enemy is the weak straw man, the hero is what's known as the steel man. And the goal is no longer to win the argument, but to understand it. See, the steel man technique has 4 simple steps. And the best part is, anyone, and I mean anyone who's willing to, can learn how to do this. And we'll start with step 1. Listen intently. I know it sounds obvious, but it is the hardest part. So you have to shut down that internal voice that's just waiting for its turn to speak. Stop formulating your rebuttal and truly listen to what they're saying, not what you think they're saying. And step 2, find the strongest point. Search for the most reasonable, charitable interpretation of their argument. Ask yourself, what is the smartest, most valid part of their perspective? Even if you disagree with 90% of it, find the 10% that holds some truth to you. In step 3, articulate that argument back to them, but better. See, this is the magical move. You summarize their point back to them, but you do it with clarity and respect. Your goal is for them to say, yes, that's exactly right. Actually, you said that better than I did. And then step 4, then and only then respond. Once they feel truly heard and respected, you'll see their shoulders relax, their defenses will lower, and basically what you've done is you've earned their trust. Now you have a platform to add your perspective. You could say something like, I agree with this part, but have you considered, or that's a strong point, and it connects to another issue, and then continue on with your discussion about your perspective. All right, my friends, let's move from theory to practice. Let's see how this works in 2 real-world scenarios where things usually, they get tense. Imagine your boss says, I think we need to cut the marketing budget to improve our profit margin. So the wrong way, or I would say the ineffective way, the straw man way to respond is you will immediately jump in with, so you just want to kill all our growth. If we stop marketing, we'll have no new customers. We'll be out of business in 6 months. See? You've created an extreme version of her argument and basically attacked it. Now, the most effective way, which is the steel man way, what you want to do is pause. And then you say, okay, so if I'm hearing you right, your main focus is on the immediate health of our profit margins. And you see the marketing spend as the most flexible lever we can pull to improve that, right? See, you're concerned that our current spend isn't efficient enough to justify the cost, especially in this quarter. Is that right? And your boss, she'll likely say, yes. Now you can respond with, I agree that profitability is critical. Could we explore cutting 2 or 3 specific campaigns that have the lowest ROI instead of an across-the-board reduction? Ding, 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 the battle is over. See, you're now two people solving the same problem. Now let's take the example home. Your partner says you're always on your phone when you're together. Might be a common problem. This might be something you want to listen to. See, the ineffective way is the straw man way is to say something like, what? So I'm not allowed to have friends or answer a single text? You just want me to have no life and stare at you all day? Again, you've made them sound unreasonable so you can win. The more effective way, the steel man way, is to respond with, first you take a breath and say, okay, so it sounds like when I'm on my phone, it makes you feel like I'm not present with you, right? And that our time together isn't a priority for me. It feels disconnecting and maybe even a little disrespectful. Is that what you're feeling? See, when they agree, you've shown you understand the real issue. It isn't about the phone. It's about feeling valued. And you can respond with something like, that makes total sense. And I'm sorry I made you feel that way. It's not my intention. How about we agree that when we're having dinner, I put my phone away completely? Like magic, problem solved. Relationship hopefully strengthened. See, now I know what you might be thinking, and you're thinking probably something along the lines, well, this is hard. It takes ego control, friends, and it won't work on people who are arguing in bad faith. But for 99% of your conversations, this is probably going to help. It's probably a game changer in most of your conversations. See, the steel man isn't about being weak. It's about being so confident in your own position that you don't need to misrepresent someone else's. It shifts a conversation from combat to collaboration. All right, my friends, I'm going to give you a challenge for the week, okay? So at least try this one time. What you're going to do the next time you're in a small disagreement, stop, listen, and build a steel man of that person's argument. And once you've done that, come back and let me know in the comments how that went. Was it successful? Did you have challenges? What were those challenges? Maybe we can take a look at it and see where we could improve your strategy. All right? I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.